From our alternative series, stay tuned for Nirvana's classic, Come As You Are.
Play like a pro at String Sound Studios.
Hi! In this live stream, we will concentrate on about 6 concepts which will enable you to play Come As You Are by Nirvana. Hi, I'm Michael Violette of String Sound Studios, and glad you tuned in again. This is live, and the goal of my live streams is to be educational, entertaining, and exploratory on a variety of musical topics and styles. We are streaming to you from multiple platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope. Don't know if I got Twitch in there today, but well, if we do, we do. But the big ones, YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. I had a few others up there a while ago, and eventually we'll go back to those like DLive and all those things. So please subscribe, especially to our YouTube. Hit that bell for notifications. That, I believe, is the best platform to watch this on. And if anyone's out there and you're listening or watching and listening, that's what you should be doing. Let me know. Let me know what you think right away. Give me a wow out this video, that audio looks great, or tell me something's wrong. Not that I'm going to fix it now, but all right. So just again, for a better experience, try switching over to String Sounds. Oh, see, we have the thing up, String Sound Studios at YouTube.com. Now, I talked about 6 different concepts. Let's go through a couple things here. Is my tuner on there? I can see it. I'll have to show that to you. But anyway, when you're doing this, okay, you have to tune the guitar down a whole step to be in tune with the recording as I was, okay? So it's not in standard tuning E. Everything is a drop down a whole step. So if you're not familiar with that, well, this is an E normally, and that drops down to a D, okay? Then you have your A string, all right, and that drops down, your A string drops down to a G. Then so forth and so on. Your D string here, your 4th string, that drops to a C, okay? Then your 3rd string, G, which is normally G, drops to an F, all right? And then B becomes an A, and of course this E becomes a D. So, thanks, Kelly. Looks and sounds good from here. All right, and that's one of the first concepts. So you have to play this down a whole step. I'm not going to go through the whole tuning with the tuner and all that, okay? But just look up tuning down the guitar a whole step, and if you're not familiar with that, go ahead and do that. I just explained it to you. So it's again, this is D, this is G, this is a C, this is an F. Okay, I'm talking about the strings now, right? Obviously, and this is an A, and that's a D. Okay? So everything gets dropped down a whole step, two piano keys, if you would. And check it out when you start to play with it. So some of the things we got. Well, there's a lot of things in here that you need to know to enable you to play it correctly. One is alternate picking. That introductory riff and that riff throughout the whole verse, it requires a lot of alternate picking. Okay? So we're going to talk about that. And we also have picking fingers. We also have arpeggiatos, and we'll talk about that, and capos. And I'll go through a little bit of some of the effects I'm using here to get these sounds. Matter of fact, I have the phase shifter on now, and so it sounds good, so it's not phasing back through the vocals, which is good. All right, let's get started. Now, we're going to take a look at that first riff, and I'm going to play it with my thumb so you can really see. Let's focus in a lot on the left hand here, okay? But then we're going to go over and do the picking. So I want you to take a look at the notes. It's an open, we'll say it's an open E, it's really an open D. But you are going to have two of those, okay? Two of those notes. Then you have this F here. And then it goes to an F sharp. So if you take a look, you can see everything right here. That's why I like using the thumb here, because watching here and watching here is too much to do. So let's just do it, and what I do with a pick is hard to see. So let's just do it like this, okay? Two E's, right? Then, all right, what I want you to do when you get to this F sharp, you're gonna hold that F sharp right there, okay? You wanna hold this note, your second finger on the second fret, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna play the open A string. Hi. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Sonai? I got to see you for a lesson soon. All right, after I finish this, we're coming over there, and thanks for tuning in. What is your handle there? Glossy Vibes? That's a student of mine. She's a real talented girl. And she plays a lot of different instruments. So, sounds good? Oh, okay. All right, let me get back to teacher. Well, you're welcome. You're very, and thanks for tuning in. All right. And any questions on the guitar? But ask. And anyway, so I'm showing you my thumb here. So we're doing this, and we have open. Now, see, you're going to hold that F sharp right there. Then we're going to play the open A string. So you can play open A and go back to an F sharp, back to another A, two more F sharps, and to the F, and ultimately that's going to go to an E. So let me play that for you. Watch. Ready? Again. 1, 2, 3. All right, now what happens? You're going to go to the open E. Then it's going to concentrate. This is like an E chord, okay? Say this is no chord here, but this is like an F sharp minor chord when you're doing this. This is going to be an E chord here, all right? But you're just playing two notes of that E chord. There's no chord, sorry, big E, okay? So there's no chord per se, however. The harmony on this suggests it's an E chord, and the harmony on this suggests it's like an F sharp minor chord, okay? So now, you have E, and that's kind of syncopated there. So we're going to play this open E. We're going to take the second bar of this, the second full bar, okay? Open E. Then that's syncopated, so you get this. 1, and 2, and 3. And 4, and 1. Now let me play that really slow so you can see that, and hopefully you can see everything here. It's a really cool tune. And remember, you're coming in on the and of 3, so you got to count. 1, 2, 3. Open. stop. Sorry. 1, hard to play slow, right? 1, 2, 3. And you do that 4 times, then the band, you do that 4 times, then 4 full times, and I believe that's when the singing starts. Yeah, okay? So you have that intro 4 times. And what happens is, throughout the verse, he plays that. Okay? So let's take a listen. And I'll put the looper on. So I'll play it a little more in time. I'm going to play it a little more, a lot more with the pick. 1, 2, 3. Point something out too. When you get into that E chord, watch, I'll stop there, okay? Watch. Now you have 2 open E's, right? This is like syncopated, and that's very important you hit that B, all right? And get back to that. You'll listen to the song, and here they all kind of like cut there. So that B is really important to get on the end of 3 before he goes back to the beginning. So listen again. 1, 2, 3. And I play that hard, right? So you have that 4 times. Let me play with the looper, and you have the intro here, so listen up. 1, 2, 3. Then your verse starts, and he plays that. Sorry, my looper. Right? Then he plays that. So remember, you have the alternate picking. I'm showing it to you like this so you can see it really clean. Now you can see a little bit of like this, okay? Or like this, whatever's better for you. And two E's there, and you keep doing that riff throughout the first verse. Now this next part. I guess it's part of the verse. Can we call it an interlude? It's part of the verse. And before, I want to point something out. Before he does something like this. I do this picking fingers, but you want to play an E chord on that last time. So that first verse, he does that riff like 8 times, okay? What I'm talking about there is before he goes into the memory, all right? At that point, actually, plays a big E chord. So it goes like this. So give yourself an E chord, and you know an E chord's like this. If you don't, let's take a look at my big E chord in first position. 2. So we're already on that from playing the riff. Then I have 3 here. Okay? See that? 3. And 1's going to go here on that string. So I have 2, 3 underneath it, and then 1 here. All right, and that's my E chord. So again, here 2, 3 right underneath it. And when you're doing a chord such as this, we always try to play close to the frets, right? However, you can't on something. You can't, you played a capo, yes. You want to play as close to the fret as possible, on all chords, but you can't sometimes because your fingers are, they're in the way of each other, they're overlapping. So you got to put this, I would put the lowest finger close to the fret All right. Excuse me. This finger here. Okay, the highest finger here, and then of course 1 you can get close to the fret there. That's an A minor chord though. Sorry, I'm looking at this video in the mirror here. So we want an E chord. But the point is, whatever you're playing, okay, this I put 2, 3. See how that, can't get both of those there. So I'm a little more like this. And then 1 is going to go here. And that's your E chord. Strum. Okay, next part. Let's take a look at it after that E chord. So watch, I'll play it slow. Now into this. I'll try to pick here more. Okay, what's he doing there? All right, what I'm doing is I'm using, that's another, we talked about tuning the guitar down, alternate picking. Make sure you're doing a lot of down up picking on that riff. And then, of course, we're going to have alternate strumming. But I'm using my pick and fingers here, okay? And I always go through this. I hold the pick like this. We call it Johnny Smith style, okay? See that? Okay, come back so the camera doesn't go out of focus, okay? If you take a look. And I have my thumb like this, okay? And it goes in like that, okay? So if you look at the upside down version, this is how I hold the pick. But I fan my hand out. Now I'm doing something where I'm using pick and fingers. Okay? You don't have to do this if you have another way to do it. You could try to mute the string, but this is an octave. What I'm doing is I'm playing an octave. I'm playing 1 here and 3 here. Okay? And that's, an octave is the same note you run through the whole scale. Okay? It's the same note in a different register. So if this is F sharp, then that's F sharp. I'm skipping the over the 5th string, and I'm going to the 4th string. So I have 1, 3, if you can see that. Take a look at that. Give you this view, right? Give you that view. 1, 3 here. There's your 1. There's your 3. Okay? So that's your octave. Now I'm doing it pick and fingers rather than muting. I just like the sound. The way I do that here, if we focus in on my right hand, okay, I'm doing it with the pick, and I'm going like this. And when you do this, this finger, okay, is going to pull in towards your palm. So I'm playing kind of down, and this finger is pulling in towards your palm. So I'm going like this. All right. I could do it finger style. If you take a look over here, don't do this when people play finger. Right? You don't want to go pull. You don't want to pull. This is kind of coming in, and this is going down. So I'm swinging this into my palm. Now I'm almost set up for this F sharp minor chord, okay, or sus4. And there it is. Now we got to talk about a capo. My 4th finger's going to go right under my, okay, 3rd finger, and I'm going to do a capo. And do an arpeggiando. So we have a lot just with this little thing right here. So we have this. Let's talk about capos, right? One of the best ways to do capos is think of this, okay? We're going to take, we want to keep it as flat and straight as possible. We don't want to help do things like this because that's going to get in the way, all right? And it becomes a crutch, right? You want to, in this case, and it's a big capo, right? So you could do small capos. This is a full capo. I got this, I play the octave. Then you want to play as close to the fret as possible. You see that? Hey, here, you want here, here. As close as you can get, you can hardly see it, right? And you want to keep it flat and straight. We don't want to play off the side. Watch. And I'm doing a capo here. And let's get some indentations here. All right? We want there. We don't want it off the side of that finger. Another quick thing here. I'm using heavy strings. You might be saying, well, Mike, why are you playing this on a, people watching this, why are you playing this on a 175? This is a Gibson ES 175. I have this set up for heavy strings. And if you're doing a drop tuning, you don't want, I mean, in my view, you don't want 10s, you don't want 11s. You want like, these are 13 gauge strings because that string is going to be really flimsy. Now, I don't know what Cobain does or did at that point, but that's just my view. If you can do it with 12s, I would say minimum of 12s. It just becomes hard to bend strings. in, doing solos and things like that. Switch guitars in the middle. But for this tune, yeah, drop D. Okay, that's just my view. I'm doing that. I don't know what they use. Okay, but to start, so you get good. Okay, just to start, try to use some, maybe do it on acoustic guitar even. Okay, and it gets a really good beefy sound. All right, back to this. So we're talking about capos. Right? You want to press, and this capo, see how this is like that? I did the F sharp. So I have this to here. That is flat and straight. The idea of a capo is playing more than one note, let's say, on the same fret with one finger. You could do them with this finger, you could do them with four, you could do them with anything. This happens to be a first finger capo, okay? So we have this here, all right? I have that and that. And then I'm going to do this here. So my fourth finger goes here, and my capo is going to be on the second fret. Watch. Now, I talked about the arpeggiando. What I'm doing is a slow strum. To me, it has a lot of textural things on there. It's probably a chorus pedal. I chose to use my phase shifter here. I'm not happy with my chorus pedal. I want to get another one, okay? My chorus effect. But it sounds fine. It's got that older sound. I'll talk a little bit about the effects, but right now, just a little bit, okay? I'm using a phase shifter. We'll talk about that at the end. So we have this here, and you're going to strum slowly, all right? It's an arpeggio, arpeggiando. It's not arpeggio per se, where playing something like that. Now what he does after this, a nice slow strum, and I'm going to do this on the end of 4. Let's play it. Again. Okay, let's talk about those chords. I have this, have my F sharp suspended chord, arpeggiando, nice slow strum all the way through. Now what he does here is he plays this chord, plays the third, the fourth, third, and second string. This is what I'm hearing in the song anyway. Then open strings, I would play the fourth and third string. Okay, and then we're going to come on to this A sus2 chord. Okay, let's take a look at that. So I have this. Play this chord again, but maybe play like, the fourth, third, and second string. Okay? You're already on it, so then open, not all the strings, and then come back on this A sus2 chord. Okay, we call this A sus2. Now, if you know how to play an A chord like this or like this, we're just going to put 1 here, 2 here, and my B is open. Okay, rather than close it up. Nice sound. Very contemporary sound. Okay, can you see that? That view there. Let's get this view here. I got 1, I got 2 here, and then B is open. So my open strings are my open A. Okay, that's closed. That's an E, but not really an E because of the tuning. Okay, and an open B, and then E. And just let it breathe. So let me play this part again. Yeah, you could go. I just like to let it breathe. I think it sounds like overdubs in this. There's a little bit of a heavy guitar in there. The bass is very heavy. But you hear these kind of textural sounds in the song. So it's 1, 2, and yes, it's on the upbeat, but let's play it down strum. 1, 2, on 4, 4, and that, or you can let that A sus2 ring. Okay? Rhythm is super important. But when you're playing a tune like this, or any tune, you can let that breathe. You can just. So I'm not going to go crazy on that A sus2 with all different types of rhythms. You're probably better off just hearing this first and hearing those sounds. You're going, let it breathe. Get back to here. Okay, so you it should be 4 times of that. And then you have to make sure you go back to the. So, again, that's another reason why you want to let this breathe. Watch, I'm going to go back to the verse. You want to get back to that on the end of 3 there. That's 1, 2, 3. That's what I'm hearing in the song. Yeah. So again, let me play it from the beginning again, and then we'll talk about the verse. There's not too much to the song. We're not going to do the solo. I believe there's a solo in here. We're not going to do that today. I'll save that for another time because there's a lot you have to work on. All right, so let's do a little bit of a recap again. We talked about tuning the guitar down. We're talking about alternate picking. We're using pick and fingers. We talked about effects. No, we didn't talk about effects. We talked about capos, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit more about capos in the chorus part, okay? But let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. So let's stop right there. You see how I got back to that verse? Right? When he does the second verse, it's a little bit shorter. All right. So you want to listen to the song, listen to the form. All right. The second verse is shorter than the first verse. Then he goes into this interlude again. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the chorus. Now, I've seen people do it like this, YouTubers or whatnot. Can do it like that. But when I hear this D chord, this D sus chord here, I hear higher notes here. So this D sus2, I hear it capoed here. I hear these higher notes. Again, this is plugged, he does it unplugged. I'm hearing what I hear on the recording of the original version. And I don't hear this on top, I hear this. That's what my ears tell me. So the B minor, you can play it here, but I'm going to do it here. It's closer to this. This is a B minor chord. We're talking about capos again. So what are we going to do? We're going to go to 7th position. We need a full capo here, right? And is this a really hard tune to play? Well, yes and no. If you're a beginner and you're not used to capos, I probably wouldn't do this song right away and say, oh, I've been playing guitar 3 weeks. Get used to playing smaller capos. All right? Try to find tunes, and I'm trying to think of some way. You could use smaller capos, all right? There's plenty of them out there. So, smaller capos at first, and then you can gradually get bigger. Because to do a full capo, the reason why people, quit guitar. Oh my God, I do an F chord here. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be doing it as a beginner, right? I don't know what level you're at, because who knows who's watching. But you should be doing finger exercises. And in general, I would stay away from chords if you're a flat out beginner. I have a lot of courses on this. I'll tell you about those at the end. I would stay away from chords and do little double stop things, right? For example, not full chords. Play cool stuff and build on that, because just for people to play, a D chord like this or a G chord, tough, all right? So you don't want to be doing a lot of chords right away. But after a little while, you play a song like this. Okay? Now, big capo. So you go to 7th position. We're talking about the guitar when you hear me talking about position. Okay? So let's use our fret markers here, my inlays. I don't have dots, I have blocks. But I have 3, 5, 7. Notice they're odd numbers, 9, except for this one, 12. So we're going to go to 7th position. I'm going to have a full capo on 7th position. Right? And it's similar to this chord here, except you're not doing this. You're on more adjacent strings with the 3rd and 4th finger. So you're going to play 1. You're going to press that. Remember, you keep that flat. You're going to keep that straight. You're going to do 3 here. See that? Okay, we're going to do 3 here. And we do 4 right underneath it. Then I have my capo. 2nd finger's not there. And I'm going to play this. Do the arpeggiando again. Sounds fine. The bass is, keeping that beat and giving you a really good strong pulse there. Okay? And I would keep this textural. Do an arpeggiando. Or now go to the inside. This is an outside chord because it comes on the 6th string, my root. This is a B minor chord, okay? Let's get used to calling these inside, outside. So when I move inside, I'm going to go to the 5th string. And the D minor chord here, D sus2 chord rather, okay, is inside and it's in 5th position. So we're going to start on the 5th fret with my 1st finger, go 3, go 4. So we have the same shape, but we're pulling everything inside and up. Okay, and down rather, okay? Yeah, inside, so I keep that shape, and down. This is down the neck, okay? I'm pulling it up this way, but I'm going, which is actually, watch, what I'm talking about is this way is up, okay? This way is down. This way is up, this way is down. So you're pulling this here, and you're going inside, but you're coming back to this. Try to retain this shape. Then you have this. So that's your chorus part. All right, so you have. One of the things I have the students do at beginning levels, this might sound silly, but this is something you can practice, okay? Is just take your 1st finger, or any finger, and move around the fretboard. Take a string. Then start doing 1, 3, okay? Or 1, 2, anything. Because what happens is when people have to move a chord, let's say they're playing a chord like this, and they have to move, their hands get all out of shape. When you're moving on a chord, well, there's 2 ways, more than 2 ways, but let's talk about this. What I am doing is I'm lifting the tension off the strings, but you're staying on the string, okay? So let's take a look at this. Watch. See the string will lift up, and you move, and let's take a look at this view. Yeah. Lift up. Keep them on the strings. Don't be so tight. Don't try to press while you move. I mean, sometimes you have to if you slide. So if you're sliding something, you want that sound, that's a different story. Play, release tension, keep it on the string, move, strum. So we have this. Sanaya. Someone's asking a question. Mike, or saying my name, Mike. Yes, what can I do for you? Mike, can I be on your live? And you please so they can see what you thought. Well, eventually you have to come over here for that. Oh, I didn't see that before. So, yeah, eventually, sure, I want to do that with students. You want to come over here, please, yeah. We have to learn something and learn it well and play it really well. And we'll have to plan for that. Yeah, I don't have a problem doing that. Okay? We'll talk about that, when I guess I see you. What you want to do. It's a little bit complex doing this. Okay, so, but, if you want to, I think the best thing to do is maybe if you sang something, Sanaya, and I, back you up on the guitar. Because it's different setting up the keyboard and everything. Okay? We'll figure it out. We'll do something. We'll do a live stream so all your relatives all over the world can watch. What did you say? You got this. All right. Let's go back over. I love the live. I know I'm teaching everyone a guitar lesson, but this is the whole point. People ask questions about things. Oh, you were going to do it on your phone? No. I don't know how that works with the live stream. All right, we'll talk about that. The live stream's a little bit different. It's not so much a cam. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go back to this. See that? And then he's back to the. Now, I'm going to play it with the backing track. I'll play it up to the chorus, and I'm not going to play the whole song, but I'll play it up to that chorus so you could hear like I did in the beginning. Okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And there you have it. This version, I believe, yeah, there's a solo in it. It doesn't play with the looper here on the backing track, but there's a solo here. I'll get to the solo another time. It would be a little too much to do the solo and for you to learn everything in one shot. Learn the rhythm guitar here, learn what he's doing. Kind of interesting, he sings over this, so that's something too that needs to really be practiced. I don't want to talk about how to go practicing that, but that's for another time as well. All right. So if you have any questions about anything, you could email me at stringsoundstudios@gmail or right through the website. So do that in that contact form. Um, so again, join me for another tune. I think it's Thanksgiving weekend. I believe I'll be doing something in the alternative genre. And before we go, I almost forgot. I want to talk briefly about the effects I'm using. Okay. Well, obviously, I have a looper. It's not a lesson on, hey, we're going to take you through all these pedals, but I'm very fussy with pedals. And I have the loop station. I think that works great. I download backing tracks into there, and I can control that with my foot. I'm using the MXR Phase 95, which is a combination of two different phasers that they made. And it really works well. I love it. It's a small little thing. It's good for your pedal board. I don't have the pedal board here, my pedal rug. And all I'm using here is, and I love this stuff, and I just purchased another one of their products, Amp Tweaker. This is a pressurizer, and the pressurizer is a sustain compression pedal, but it has a lot of great stuff, features on it. Okay, and it's giving me that boost. It really makes the phase ring out a little bit more, also. Okay, I don't know if you hear the phase coming through the guitar, but so check out Amp Tweaker, and I bought one of their overdrive pedals, and I gotta hook that up and check it out and play that through that. So that's what I'm using on this, and it works fine. I'm very fussy with pedals, and I really think Amp Tweaker is great, and the MXR, I guess that's Dunlop, is great as well. So take a look at those. All right. So again, your call to action is practice. Listen, and I love grunge stuff. I'm a jazz guy. What's he doing? I'm doing Cobain. I love Stone Temple Pilots. I love Nirvana. I love Pearl Jam. I love all these groups. Okay. Soundgarden. They had a real interesting sound. They came in the 90s and stuff. So real interesting sound, like a Seattle type sound. Not all of them are from there. Definitely Nirvana was. And so listen to the song a lot. Okay. Hope this worked out for you and you enjoy this. Again, your homework is practice. Sign up for my Play Like a Pro video courses at stringsoundstudios.com. I have a pure beginning guitar course, which is a flat-out beginner's course. I have the beginning blues guitar course, and the follow-up to that is the midway blues guitar course, I call it. Also, if you're playing ukulele, I play that as well. I have a pure beginning ukulele course, okay? Remember, check us out on all our social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. You can find us, Periscope, what else? YouTube, of course, YouTube. And sign up on YouTube. We need subscribers here. All right. So have a good week. And we shall see you hopefully next week. We'll see what happens. And I'm not 100% sure about next week. If not, the week after that. Have a good day. And I shall see you. Bye. Oh, remember. What's with this mouse here? Sorry, guys. We need to do this. Play like a pro. String Sound Studio.
String Sound Studio.